Sleeping Beauty. Many years ago, a king and queen lived in a magical castle. They had everything they could want except a baby. Year after year, the queen stitched and sewed tiny clothes, and the king made toys in his palace workshop, but still there was no baby. Wow, that's a lot. That's a lot. Then one day, while the queen sat knitting by the lake, a bright green frog hopped and skipped and jumped right onto her lap. "Don't be sad, Your Majesty," said a frog. "You're going to get a baby this sea." "What?" "And will not." He bowed and leapt back into the lake. Rabbit. True to the frog words. True to the frog's words, the queen gave birth to a lovely baby girl. "I shall call her Rose," she declared happily. The king was so pleased, he planned a feast to celebrate. "I shall invite every prince and princesses in the land," he decided, and asked 7 fairies to be Rose fairy godmothers. The king sent the invitations by Bluebird post, and everyone agreed to come. Servants scrubbed and cleaned until the castle gleamed. Oh, there had never been a party like it. 7 wishes. On the day of the feast, crowds came to cheer and watch the guests arrive. The men wore cloaks of the finest velvet, and the women trimmed in silks. Seven fairies flew through a castle window, leaving a glaring trail behind them. "The godmothers!" cried the king, holding out his hands to greet them. "Let the feast begin," announced the queen, and merry music filled the room. The tables were filled high with scrumptious food, and everyone ate off golden plates. When no one could manage another bite, the fairies gathered before the king and queen. "We have some wishes for Princess Rose," said a Snowdrop, the first fairy with a crusty. She flirted her fairy fingers. "Rose will be the most beautiful in the kingdom." Then Honeysuckle waved her hand, and she will be clever enough to beat the king at chess. The third fairy, Willow, folded over. "She'll have grace in all she does, and she'll dance to perfection," added Bluebell. Blossom and Buttercup would wish that Rose could play every instrument like an angel, and sing like a nightingale. Everyone wondered what James May the seventh, and wisest fairy who would wish for the uninvited guest. This looks like not good fairy. As James hovered over the cradle, a blast of icy air swept through the great hall. Then a chilling voice rang out of nowhere, now here. Wow. Nowhere, now here. Nowhere, okay? Haven't you forgotten someone? Suddenly, the mean fairy Nightshade appeared in a world of foul green smoke. How dare you not invite me, she roared. We didn't mean to, Nightshade. The king smirked. Wait, to tell something else? Kidding? The king smirked. We just forgot you, finished the queen meekly. Forgot me! Lion Shield screamed, so fearless seems the fireplace went out. Well, you won't forget this. She flicked her cloak and marched out to the crowd. Now, my pretty, she purred, lifting a gold curl with a bony finger. What shall I wish for you? Everyone in the palace held their breath. Silent tears ran down the queen's face. Nightshade leaned into the cradle and sneered, On your 16th birthday, you'll pick your finger on a spinning wheel and die. No, cried the queen, but Nightshade helped flee and disappeared with a dismal bang. I still have my wish, said James softly. I can't undo that wicked spell, but I can try to change it. You will pick your finger, little rose. Okay. James began, but you won't die. You and everyone else in the castle will fall into a deep sleep. Only a kiss from your true love will break the spell. Burn every spinning wheel in the land at once, below the king. Rose must never ever see one. That night, the flames from a massive bonfire could be seen for miles. They licked the dark sky like serpents' tongues. A beautiful birthday. Ooh. Okay. The years passed, and Rose grew into a delightful girl. Everyone else adored her. She danced, sang in pop music, and though wonderfully as the fairies and wished, ha ha, checkmate. She was clever and played to win. Rose loved playing hide and seek in the castle gardens, and secretly she liked to sketch the prince of her dreams. The time went happily by, and Rose's 16th birthday drew near. The castle began to buzz with excitement. The king and queen were planning a huge ball. Rose was so excited she could hardly keep still. The long sleep. The night of the ball finally arrived. Handsome princes and pretty princesses flowed into the great hall. The king and queen smiled proudly as they watched Rose from their thorns. She shrilled and turned in a dancing bell gown, and every prince fell in love with her. When the feasting was nearly over, Rose played for a game. Hide and seek! She shouted and dashed off into the castle. She raced up twisting stairs, down a long, narrow corridor, through a tiny door, and found herself at the staircase, a tower she had never seen before. Soft singing flowed down to the troll's stairs. In a trance, Rose followed the music. At the top of the stairs, she found a heavy iron door. Inside, an old woman sat hunched over a spinning wheel. Come and see, my pretty, she said, knocking Rose with a bony finger. I'm spinning, my dear, cried the old woman. It's amazing, said Rose. Touch the skein thread. May try? Of course, the old woman taking her hand. At once, Rose snapped out of the trance. Ow! She cried as she pinked her finger. Rose fell onto the floor. The old woman then disappeared to a whirlwind of full grain smoke. 체리를 먹으려는데 그대로. Oh, I know what happens. The king gnawed off his pudding. Everyone in the standing castle fell asleep. The king nodded over his pudding. All close. The palace was silent still, except for the rose bushes. They spread like if covering everything in their path. They grew so quickly that soon the entire castle was covered in thick roots and sharp iron trunks. For 100 years the castle stayed hidden. Only tops of the flowers show through the bushes. Passers-by stopped to stare at the forgotten castle. Princes from far and wide heard about the spell. They came in their 100 to try to rescue the princess known as Sleeping Beauty. But the thorns cut their skin and roots wrapped around their legs and skins. One by one they gave up. One day a brave prince named Ford rode by. He had dreamed of Sleeping Beauty and determined to find her. He pulled out his sword with a push and began to tackle the spiky bushes. Fern's sword touched a branch. Something magical happened. Each sharp thorn became a sweet-smelling rose. A path cleared before him. He followed its twists and turns until he reached the topmost turret and climbed to where Sleeping Beauty lay. Gordon's heart fluttered like a bird when he saw her. She had the most beautiful girl he had never seen. Taking her hand, he kissed her soft lips. Her eyes flickered open, and Rose found herself face to face with the prince of her dreams. "You're the princess I draw, Prince I draw," she cried. He bowed. "Prince Froden here to rescue you," he announced, and shook her up. As they walked through tunnels of roses, everyone else in the castle woke up too. 재밌네. The king fell into his pudding with a splash. The court jester landed with an expert bump. Ow! Rose and Froden entered the great hall. What the? Oh my gosh. 이게 제일 심한데? "My Rose," cried the queen. "And a true love," smiled the king. Rose and Froden were married the very next day. They lived happily ever after, and the prince always lost at chess. 체스에서 항상 졌대. Alright, thank you for watching.